Welcome to India Today's SoSouth. I am Mahesh Chitnis. The much awaited exit polls are out, and all of them have projected BJP led NDA to get around 20 to 22 seats in Karnataka. The India Today Access My India exit poll has projected BJP to get 18 seats, JDS 3, and Congress 7. Today, we will be breaking down to you vote share, caste-wise voting, and how men and women voted in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections in Karnataka. To analyze all these and more, I am joined in by senior journalist Asha Krishnaswamy. Welcome to the show, ma'am. Ma'am, your first reaction on the exit polls, how do you look at it? Are they aligned with your expectation?
Um, I didn't expect anything because we'll never know how voters perceive political developments. To that extent, I'm very frank. Uh, but exit polls have its own limitation because it is only sentiments which they capture. But Indian voters are very smart. Even soon after exiting from the polling booth, they clamp up. They don't express their views because, especially in rural areas, they're very scared to talk about politics. In urban areas, there is uh, disinterest in elections. So exit polls, I always take it because in if we go by the history, it has failed many times. It has failed.
Okay, okay.
That's the reason.
That,
But yes, we had to. But all the exit polls are by and large, except one or two. Uh, they are saying that the BJP, NDA especially, and in Karnataka, BJP is doing good. That's what it says. So let
yeah,
us begin with that as the base.
yeah. Yeah, the Access My India exit poll, along with India Today, has projected that 58% male have voted for the NDA, up by 5%, and 38% have voted for Congress, down by 2%, and others have got around 4%. So, the Congress was heavily banking on the women voters, considering its guarantee schemes. But if we take this into consideration, the women voters have come down. How do you see this?
Mahesh, can I ask you on what basis this percentage has been arrayed at?
Ma'am,
Is it
this
like a
survey,
survey by a company, I mean, pollster?
yes, it's a pollster, Access My India. They have visited all the 28 constituencies in Karnataka and gathered the data.
Hmm. This is see caste and gender going by the. mm in Karnataka we don't have caste census, so
Hmm.
every time we presume that this is the based on this many things are on the presumptions we are working,
Yes.
and if women presuming that the projected exit polls are true, if women have not voted, probably they are not after freebies. The
Hmm.
guarantees probably they are taking, and urban women maybe they have apprehension that what could be its impact on economy. I
Hmm.
have heard people, women saying, yes, we do use free bus and we take money, but at national level, we want Modi. Their priorities
Hmm.
are different when it comes to Karnataka and at national level. They are very
Hmm.
smart and they are quite informed to take decisions. It is not
Hmm.
only freebies. Probably one section of say society, maybe they gets carried away. Many were expecting that the 8 to 10,000, and one of my helpers was telling me, ma'am, if Congress comes to power, I will get 1 lakh in
Hmm.
my account. That kind of
Hmm.
feeling, because she had told me that she had voted for BJP in the Lok Sabha elections, but in assembly election she had voted for Congress. Again, this time she voted for Congress. So their priorities
Okay.
changed, you know. So, but
So,
youngsters, especially young women, college going
hmm.
students, they were heard saying that it is not just free bus service or 2,000 rupees matter. We want nation to be secured. If they have
Hmm.
gone by that And if these figures which you are quoting is
mm,
echoing the same, then this could be one of the reasons.
mm. So as I just said, 58% male have voted for the NDA, that is increased by 5%, and 38% of men have only voted for Congress. And when it comes to female, 52% of them have voted for NDA, which is up by 3%, and 44% have voted there for Congress, and rest have voted for smaller parties and independents. So one thing that is interesting here is, Asha,
Hmm.
that despite that Congress was heavily banking on the guarantees and was not aggressively going after the BJP candidates. So did as you mentioned earlier, the voters of Karnataka are seeing it differently when it comes to Assembly as well Lok Sabha. Do you think is this the only reason why we are seeing so much of reduction of votes for Congress when it comes to women?
There could be multiple reasons. See, in any election, the results, failure or success depends on many reasons. But it is very difficult to pinpoint only this is the
Yeah.
reason. But in 23 assembly elections, it was obvious that BJP's failures, especially corruption, did it. In Congress, the people were looking for an alternative, and Congress was the alternative. But this guarantees, I mean, it is a huge attraction. It was a huge attraction in 23, coupled with the corrupt BJP government. There was no governance at all. It was anarchy. So if Congress had assumed that only because of the guarantees it had come to power, no, it wasn't so. Probably Congress, after implementing the scheme in the midways, it has already completed 1 year. Maybe for after a few months or after a year, it should have done a survey whether the tempo
Mm,
has been maintained scientifically. If
mm,
they had done, instead it was very busy in attacking in on social media its rival, like
mm,
so many campaigns they did. And I think Congress usually, Mahesh, as I have seen, it has its own native knowledge of judging people and situations. But
mm,
now it is getting more into the hands of professional agencies which dictate its campaign subjects, and everything is now I mean programmed by somebody. That
mm.
is could be the one reason, left to the Congress senior leaders. They have won so many elections.
Yes.
They used to change the track, but here in this election, the Congress in Karnataka did not set any strong narrative as to why BJP MPs from Karnataka should not be elected. It
Mm.
was Modi versus Sidramaya. It,
Exactly.
that doesn't sell. He's the chief
Mm,
minister who has his own standing in society and in politics. Modi is on a different footing. So they should. I mean, I always feel there should be no comparison. I should go to voters saying that these are my strengths. I can
mm,
do these things to you. But that
mm,
confidence was lacking in this election. It was attacking. It was in attack mode especially NDA. So this
mm,
is where see, even Mr. Kharge, such a senior leader, when he was campaigning for his son-in-law in Gulbarga, he turned very emotional rather than
yes.
why his son-in-law Radha Krishna has to be voted to. I mean, should be voted as an MP. He took it on a very emotional lines. So
He also spoke about his death.
yeah, you'll come and pay me my last during my
Yeah.
this one last respect. All these things. There was no. You tell us why we should vote for Congress.
Mm,
How it is better than NDA or BJP. But here
mm,
in Congress, like Karnataka, the fight reduced. I mean, between Mr. Siddaramaiah versus Modi, it went. Probably the
mm,
people did not see any merit in that argument,
mm,
because Congress in Karnataka did not project who would be the competitor to Mr. Modi.
mm.
If at all
Right.
it projected one leader, Mr. Rahul
Mm,
Gandhi or Mr. Karge or Mr. Jairam Ramesh, or from its coalition partners, we
mm,
can bank on him. And here, the opposite camp. See, Mr. Modi went to such an extent that he made it as his election.
mm.
More than BJP, he said he vote for Modi.
Yeah,
This
that
was
was
a
true.
shift from previous elections to this election. It became
Yeah.
person centric. He, he was blatantly saying that if you vote to your MP, you are voting for me. He said
Mm,
he never he didn't emphasize much on BJP at all. But
mm,
Congress didn't have that kind of narrative.
mm.
Probably people
True.
thought that their vote may go waste, or this slowly. One more thing, Sri
Mm,
Lanka's and Kerala economic situation was debated on social media a lot.
mm,
So there are some apprehension whether these guarantees will lead to financial collapse.
mm. True.
So that is also there. People can
Mm,
they're only speeches of politicians doesn't set tone for elections. Narratives
true.
on televisions, online
Mm,
media, all these things,
mm,
it's this reels make so much impact on elections.
mm.
Reels,
Yeah.
one advertisement can make impact.
True. Ma'am, continuing with our exit poll data, what we have collected today, when it comes to caste calculation, the Axis My India exit poll claims the other backward classes, that is the OBC, have voted wholeheartedly to the NDA at 72%. Meanwhile, 23% of the same category, consisting of several castes, have voted for Congress, and rest of the 5% have voted for others. Uh, when it comes to Christians, majority of them voted to Congress, that is 66%, and 31% have voted to NDA. And when it comes to general category, 74% have voted to NDA, 21% for Congress. And when it comes to rest of the other castes, 67% of the people have voted for NDA, 28% for others. If we speak about OBC mainly, including Kurba community, which the chief minister belongs to, who had voted to the Congress in the 2023 elections. So how do you see this, ma'am? OBC community, completely backing NDA this time around in Karnataka, at least.
I don't know how far this caste sense. As I said in the beginning, there is
Mm,
asking a voter about his caste and
mm,
collating the information. It's not at all a easy job. If at all,
mm,
I had to take caste-wise vote share Karnataka given by your company, Access My India and
mm.
India Today Group.
Yeah,
uh, I don't know. OBC 72%. Even Mr. Modi in election speeches, he said he's also an OBC. He also banked
true.
on that, isn't it? He
Yeah,
said,
true.
because I'm an OBC only, I'm not allowed to
Mm,
do many things. I'm questioned. So
mm,
he was also OBC. I mean, Congress, BJP, even in Karnataka, it had from Yediyurappa's time regime as chief minister, it had to
mm,
focus. It has been focusing on SC, ST, and OBC. It is a wrong notion to construe that only Congress is doing that caste politics. No,
mm, mm.
more than Congress, it is uh, BJP has done it,
BJP.
and it is the confidence. It is, see, beyond all this caste, everything. It is basically Mr. Modi who has been able to garner the confidence of voters. Of course, we
Mm.
can give caste touch to it, but
Irrespective of the caste, that's what you are saying.
yes, 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 definitely. But
Mm,
Muslims, as has been projected, they have stood by
mm.
Congress, NTA.
Congress, true,
I mean, sorry,
true. Mm,
India. India bloc,
mm.
your data shows 92%.
Yes.
92% of Muslims have voted for Congress, or they are
Mm,
opting for Congress. That is,
mm,
of course, this government, the present dispensation is out and out. They are doing that.
mm.
Appeasement politics.
Yeah, Prime Minister has never taken the word of Muslim during the previous elections, and this was the first time that he took, and accused Karnataka Congress government of giving, including them into the OBC category.
Yes, yes,
I think,
yes. He took it. He made it an issue. I mean, it was
yeah,
surprising, and also it was. I mean, look bit ugly for me.
Hmm. Yeah. Now
So,
let's shift our focus to rural voters and as well as the urban voters. According to the Axis My India survey, 56% of the rural voters have backed the NDA. Meanwhile, 40% of rural voters have voted for Congress. And when it comes to the urban voters, 54% have voted for the NDA and 42% of the Congress. So BJP getting urban voters was an expected notion, but getting maximum number of rural voters, is there a shift in the the mood in the among the people?
there is hardly any difference between rural and urban these days because
Hmm.
of the media. Penetration of media is so intense and high, extensive, that there is hardly any difference. But if at all agrarian community was upset with um, NDA, especially Modi, they would have not voted. If at all, I
Hmm.
had to believe these statistics which you have shared, you know. And urban, as usual, even in Bangalore, with the lowest voting percentage, which is supposed to be BJP, pro BJP, we
Hmm.
saw hardly 55 or 6% in Bangalore South.
Hmm.
So it is a
True.
clear indication. It is apathy. It is basically it is among the rural masses. If they have voted some farmers issue, or they might have, see, for me all these discussions boiled down to Mr. Modi only. The confidence
Hmm.
level people showed,
Hmm.
that made the you know a lot of difference more than the caste. But when it comes to minorities, it goes without saying, especially Muslims, uh, they trust uh, they trust Congress. You might have
Hmm.
seen in the last 3 days that post office long queues.
Yeah, we have seen that. But before we speak about that, I would like to welcome Professor Chambi Puranik to the show.
Sorry.
Uh, Professor Puranik, I was just, I would like to pose you a question. According to the, exit poll survey, Axis My India, 56% of rural voters have, voted for NDA, and only around 40% have voted for Congress. And when it comes to urban voters, 54% have voted for NDA and 42% have voted for Congress. So how do you read this?
Well, the first point, the overall perspective, I can say that guarantees have not worked or made any impact on the voters. And Karnataka voters, as we have been discussing earlier, right from the beginning, that they differentiate between Lok Sabha elections and assembly elections. I mean, that is proved in this case if the exit polls are going to be true, or I mean, on June 4th, it will be reality. So I think, based on the kind of survey that is projected uniformly, almost with margin of error of 5 to 20 or 15%, I think the NDA is going to perform very well. And in Karnataka, and earlier I had predicted about 19 to 20, and they will cross 20 or 22 according to the recent survey, I mean, yesterday's exit poll that you have said. So therefore, the voters themselves have decided that since there is no alternative in India Group alliance, in terms of prime minister or the kind of stable government they can give. I think that maturity is there, and I don't think we should underestimate Karnataka voters. Karnataka voters, right from beginning, have been doing it. You have seen it in 2018 and 19, and same thing now. You are also seeing 2023 and 24. So I congratulate the Karnataka voters for having made this kind of preference for the national government. India is good, stable, and there is a kind of delivery that has happened, in which they see in terms of infrastructure and whatever Modi guarantees that are there, and the Manrega benefits or gas connection or whatever Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and all that that's going on for last 5 to 10 years. I think people of Karnataka and women, in spite of the guarantees given by the state government, the Lakshmi, Gro Lakshmi Yojana and all that, I don't think that has made any impact. That's how, I mean, if the exit polls are to be taken seriously, this is the only way we can say it. And your point of the voters there, I mean, preferring the NDA in such large number, in terms of victory margin, I think it is something which is not strange to Karnataka, but it is natural to Karnataka. And Karnataka has been consistently performing this distinction between Lok Sabha and assembly elections. That's how I look at it.
Okay, fine, sir. Now we come to the interesting segment of the show. Axis My India has projected 21 seats for NDA, 7 for Congress, and others nil. So if you break down further, in the NDA, BJP is expected to get 18, and JDS is projected to get 3. So if we break down further into the constituency wise, so let's first take a look at the Bangalore rural, which is one of the very interesting constituencies where DK Suresh is fighting against Dr. C.N. Manjunath. According to the Access My India survey, Dr. C.N. Manjunath is seen as a strong candidate to win this poll. So how do you see this, Asha? Bangalore rural.
And Dr. Manjunath is well known across the state, and even he has reputation outside Karnataka also. Probably the same community, Okaliga, and they're not BJP has not gone out of the that is a Okaliga belt, Bangalore rural. Probably, if at all he is going to win, as per your company projection, then it could be people are looking for a change, and they got a good alternative. They might have thought he's not a
Do you think
politician.
aligning with JDS might have helped for the BJP in Bangalore rural?
May not. I don't think JDS even campaign wise it was BJP owned him. BJP he did everything. If I mean, I don't think JDS or the Khandan of Okaliga Devegowda family also gave any push. It is Mr. Dr. Manjunath's, and then he shared dais with Mr. Modi, and there was a sort of discussion he may get union health minister.
Yeah.
That might have thought why we go for a Congress MP. Instead, let us vote for a person who may become minister, union minister.
Professor Puranik, how do you see this? Did you expect the exit poll to predict, Manjunath might be the strongest contender against DK Suresh? As yeah, we all know that Bangalore rural is one of the strongholds of Congress, especially DK members.
No, earlier we all thought that Dr. Manjunath will have a huge margin of victory and all that. Now, I mean, having seen the kind of work and campaign and all other whatever resources and tactics that DK Shivakumar and Suresh they use, I think in the rural side they do have an advantage of getting votes for Congress. But in terms of victory, as Dr. Asha mentioned, I agree with her that. The Wakaligas and other voters of other castes, they might have thought that Dr. Manjunath is a preferable candidate instead of DK Suresh, whom they have tried. They have earlier also seen that, and that kind of whatever impression or choice is there. I think rural voters of Bangalore, they have probably preferred. They may prefer Manjunath, and his victory margin may not be as large as we expected earlier. It could be a very close fight. And Dr. Manjunath, any day, he has a better advantage or edge over DK Suresh. So the very fact that the exit polls mentioned, they also one or two exit polls have mentioned that DK Suresh has an edge over Dr. Manjunath. That is also there. So therefore, taking into consideration these last minute swing votes means in terms of women, in terms of youth, or those who are undecided voters, those who are still waiting for the last 2 days of the election or campaign and all that. Yeah, whatever purpose, it may be for allurements or for some other kind of last minute decision and all that. It depends. The swing voters, we can't say why they have kept themselves so undecided and all that. So that 5 to 10% of this, I think Dr. Manjunath will have, I think, advantage. But it is going to be a very close fight. That's what earlier I thought. Dr. Manjunath, because of his personality, and also the background of Mr. Manjunath coming from the Devagowda's family. That is there, But over and above, as I said in our earlier discussion, Dr. Manjunath, just being son-in-law of H.D. Devagowda, doesn't fetch him votes. But he is a Wakaliga, a better Wakaliga. And as Dr. Asha mentioned, his prospects of becoming central minister and bringing some kind of advantage or representation for Karnataka in the union cabinet, likely that BJP NDA government is going to form. I think these are all calculations that must have influenced the swing voters or the undecided voters. But women, by and large, they have also gone with Prime Minister Modi and his image that he is a very capable and performing Prime Minister, both nationally and internationally. So this awareness will be there in the rural among the voters also, because they also watch TV, they also discuss, and many campaigns have been done. I think we should not underestimate rural voters as simply naive or innocent and all that. They are also quite alert. That's how, I mean, especially these days of the media and social media and all that, they do have the opportunity to gauge or judge a person's capability and all that. And as Dr. Asha mentioned, I think Dr. Manjunath has an edge over DK Suresh.
Okay, true. So
Mahesh,
now, yeah, tell me. You tell me.
I had traveled in rural, Bangalore rural. There was no
Okay.
resentment against the MP, that is Suresh.
Uh,
Suresh. Okay.
Brothers are known for performance. And
Huh.
if you step into Kanatpura, it is better than Bangalore city.
Hmm.
Roads, facilities,
Yeah. Hmm.
Voters have actually, they might have been caught in a tight situation whether to vote for a change or vote for a performing MP. As Professor
Hmm.
Chabbai Puranik repeatedly pointed out, it is a tough choice and thin vote. I mean, margin could be very thin.
Hmm.
But as a performer, DK Suresh and Shivkumar, they are not let down. It's like more like Hassan MP or
Hmm.
MLAs. They
Hmm.
work. They go before people saying that I had done. Their report card is always, intact. That's the
Hmm.
plus point for. But we don't have such MPs in Bangalore City, you know, who can proudly
Yeah.
present the report card.
Yeah, we'll come to Bangalore, ma'am. But before that, let's shift our focus to JDS. Three seats JDS is
Mahesh, before
contested.
that,
Yes. Yes.
can I have one
Yeah.
word
Please.
about
Please go ahead. Please
yeah.
go ahead, sir.
See, Dr. Asha mentioned about the capability of Dr. Suresh. I do agree. He's I mean, no nonsense and daredevil kind of worker, and whatever he wants, he will do it also. And it is called as a republic because of that only, not because of Vakaliga. The second thing, advantage for Manjunath, in spite of the tough keen contest, is the non-Vakaliga voters. They are the people who are going to decide. It could be OBC, except Muslims. I think in all other categories of voters that you have mentioned or shown here, I think they will definitely, as she said, it's not a dilemma. It is not a difficult choice. They know the choice. The choice is that Modi is going to be the prime minister for third time, and all things look like that. So therefore, Dr. Manjunath will be a best bet. That could also be a calculation in terms of constituency getting advantage. Apart from whatever Suresh has done, it will not be undone by Dr. Manjunath. He will continue it. Perhaps he will add more kind of developmental programs works for the constituency, rural Bangalore. That's how I add the non-Vakaliga voters. That's also a very important point.
Okay. So coming to JDS now, according to the poll, exit poll projected by Axis My India, JDS is set to win all three constituencies it has contested, maybe Kolar, Hassan, and Mandya. So, was it expected lines, yeah, like how you seen it? Did you expect this to happen, or will there be a, according to you, at the last moment, some kind of change? Asha, would you like to answer that?
Yes, going by the media reports and field reporters, I was under the impression that Kolar and Mandya would be JDS best bet. Mandya, of course, it gave very good confidence to JDS. But this is nothing to do with whatever the case, Prajwal Revanna case is being discussed now, and it's the elections were held prior to the release of the.
Yeah,
But
elections are
Prajwal,
held on April 26, and
yes,
the videos were released around 28,
yeah.
29.
But prior to that, also there was stiff competition, I was told, between Congress and JDS. So
Hmm.
that's the reason why I think the ground report might have not given confidence for NDA to prefer Mr. Prajwal as a candidate.
Hmm.
It delayed the
Yeah.
announcement after much
Kumar
bar.
Sanu had openly spoken about it.
Yes, yes. After much bargaining, JDS got the ticket for Prajwal.
Hmm.
So this time I was told BJP, if at all it had fielded its candidate, it would have won easily. But now
Hmm.
we don't know. But all the, I mean, exit polls projections say, I think Prajwal has may retain the seat. So
Hmm.
we have to wait.
Hmm. Professor Puranik,
Yeah. So I
how
think,
do you see this?
Prajwal's case, I have been debating in other channels, including yours. I did mention that reluctantly, I mean, Prajwal was accepted by Kumaraswamy, but Devegowda and Revanna family, they are together, and Kumaraswamy is different. The very fact that Kumaraswamy is now has gone for holidaying in Kabini backwaters, that itself shows that he wants to have a separate identity in spite of this scandal. He knows that. So his future is more important. That's why he wanted some other candidate to be nominated to that. But because of family pressure and weakness of Mr. Devegowda for Revanna and his family, because Bhavani was denied ticket, but he has given the MLC seat to Revanna's son also. So that means to say that any day Devegowda prefers Revanna and his family as his strong support base. Even today, in spite of whatever the scandals that are there and all that, that is separate. But as Asha mentioned, that the performance of Prajwal as an MP perhaps might have impressed the voters and all that. The very fact that the videos were leaked, just 2 days or 3 days before the election, they thought that this will unseat him and all that, because the opposite candidate from Congress is coming from a very good family background. His grandfather,
Hmm.
Putswami Goda, was a very eminent MLA and
Hmm.
big fighter also. So he has a good image, that also. But now, because of the Wakaliga factor and loyalty to Devegowda, Hassan is their, I think, the best bet among all the three seats which we are talking. Now, Mandya, there was a risk for Kumar Swamy that
Hmm.
now he has made it up and he will win. And Kolar, the
What,
candidate is
what
a
about
very good
what
candidate.
about Kolar,
Kolar,
sir? Kolar. What about
really,
Kolar? There was a
yeah,
huge infighting in the Congress when it comes to Kolar.
yeah,
Minister Mudappa wanted his son-in-law to contest, but finally it was given to
yeah,
JD.
infighting.
Yeah. So how do you see this? Did the infighting cost Congress the Kolar seat according to the whatever the projections exit polls are given?
For me or to Asha?
You can reply, sir.
Yeah. So now Kolar candidate is a very good candidate. I believe the Okaligas consider him as one of the best candidates from the JDS also. In order to refurbish the image of JDS, which has taken a big setback, I think that will be a big booster. Now surveys, I think since yesterday evening, it has given some kind of hope for JDS to again say that we are relevant in Karnataka politics. Earlier they thought that the JDS is irrelevant and it will be ruled out. And also, therefore, I think the candidate wise is a very good candidate, and Wakaligas and others, and also the infighting within the Congress. The minister is not getting seat for his daughter, and the groups that are there, the factions that are there, all of them, they may not have worked sincerely for Congress victory. So therefore, I think JDS, apart from Mandya and Hassan, this also will be a part of JDS victory kit. That's how I look at it also.
Okay. Now let's shift our focus to Bangalore constituencies. We have spoken already about Bangalore rural, but if we speak about Bangalore South and Bangalore North, Access My India exit poll has projected a safe win for BJP candidates in these two constituencies. But when it comes to Bangalore Central, the Access My India exit poll has given an edge to Congress candidate Mansoor Ali Khan. Asha, how do you see this? Mansoor Ali Khan has an edge over, BJP candidate PC Mohan. Did you expect this to happen, or you don't agree with the exit poll? What's your
No,
take on
I still have my own apprehensions about PC Mohan. Maybe the competition is severe.
it?
Uh, PC Mohan has no enemies in other parties also. That is the plus for him.
Hmm.
How many Congress leaders have worked for Mansoor Ali Khan? His
Hmm.
campaign was not a, but there are, see that a Congress leader who wanted ticket here, he was telling me it's a miscalculation by Congress. Always it presumes that Muslims are in large numbers, they will vote for Congress. This seat is not for minority community. That is what was his argument. He tried his best to get ticket, but influence, lot of
mm,
influences. But I still
mm,
think that it is 50-50 probably. If people
mm,
are looking for a change
mm,
in this particular constituency, then anti-incumbency must have worked in case PC Mohan loses. In case,
mm. Yeah.
otherwise he is
Professor,
known for having like Mr. Anant Kumar, H.N. Anant Kumar, who late Anant Kumar. Mr. PC
mm,
Mohan has friends in all parties. Easily
mm,
he's
She is
managing.
right.
mm.
Correct.
So
Professor Puranik, what's your assessment
Yeah,
on this?
I
Do
do.
you think?
I concur with her observation. Because I live in that constituency only, and I have interacted with many people who really matter from the lower category, not in terms of intellectuals or elite group. So I think
Mm,
Pisimon, as he said, he is an Ajata Shatru, and also he's a very cool man. He's not so flamboyant or like Surya, visible to the public and all that. But he does his work, and I mean, as he said, from all castes, including Muslims, the area where he lives is very close by to his residence also. I think they have some kind of soft corner from it. They have nothing against him. Nobody has anything against PC Mohan. And I think,
mm,
he has an edge over Mansur Ali Khan. Apart from that, Muslims themselves may not like Mansur Ali Khan to emerge as a successful candidate. I see that is also there because there are
mm,
many, many leaders who have out of reservations about Mansur Ali Khan. And only because of his father's name and also earlier kind of whatever service he has rendered to Congress, he is also a very resourceful person. So that way, I think
mm,
Mansur Ali Khan, they considered him as the only choice to fight against PC Mohan, who is a sitting. But about anti-incumbency, I don't think that
mm,
anti-incumbency will work. Overall picture which you see from yesterday's
mm,
exit poll, there is no anti-incumbency as far as the parliament elections are concerned, including Prime
mm,
Minister Modi. So Prime Minister Modi's image also, and that kind of whatever the kind of leadership he has shown, that means to say that as a city, Silicon City, Bangalore needs an MP who will support Prime Minister Modi and brings some kind of better results for the constituency. So that is also a very important factor. So let us not underestimate the image of Modi. But for Prime Minister Modi, BJP would have lost. It would have ended up with 4 or 5 seats because of personalities. The ex-chief minister and this and that caste factor and all. So because of those base votes, their caste votes,
mm,
and so BJP workers' loyalty, and more and above the image of Prime Minister Modi, "Ab ki baar 400 par," that slogan perhaps must have made people to think that he's going to win anyhow in the central and in the belt and all that. Why not? From Karnataka, we gave him the same support which we gave last time. 25 they have
mm,
given. So if even 3-4 seats or less, definitely Modi's image has worked on that. That's how I can, because BJP lost the government because of their corrupt, whatever image they had. They were also not
mm,
better. But Congress, within 1 year, it has lost its good image. The leadership of
mm,
Siddaramaiah should have given a very clean government. Look at the
mm,
financial scandal of that Nigama, Valmiki Nigama.
mm.
So these are all factors which were there, not before this also. The factor is
Okay.
that only D.K. Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah, they are running the government. All the ministers, they are not in a position to perform. And about legislators, they also did not get the financial support and all because of guarantees. They wanted guarantee money. That's how this financial indiscipline has occurred. That's how I
Professor,
look at it.
what are your thoughts on that? We'll have a separate discussion on that. It's a very interesting subject to deal with. But now we have got some data, on all the 7 seats in where there's a tough contest happening between BJP, sorry, NDA and Congress. These are Chikkodi, Ballari, Chamarajnagara, Chitradurga, Raichur, Bidar, and Bangalore Center. We have already discussed Bangalore Center. Let's go to Chikkodi now. According to the Access My India projections, uh, Minister Satish Jarkioli's daughter, Priyanka Jarkioli, is said to be a strong contender, against the sitting BJP MP Anna Sahib Jolle. Asha, I would like to come to you. How do you see this new MP, a new candidate from Chikkodi? Congress had fielded. Actually, Congress had wanted Satish Jarkioli himself to contest from the Chikkodi, but he did not agree to it. as in the case of other 67 ministers, where their daughters and children were given a chance to contest. So that's how the Priyanka Jarkioli had got the ticket against Anna Sahib Jole. And we all know that how Jarkioli family comes when it comes to the elections. Despite without any party affiliations, they work together and get the family very well. So how do you see that? Do you think Anna Sahib Jole has a has an edge or Priyanka Jarkioli has an edge?
The Jackie Hollis chose a not a resort constituency. Remember Chikodi?
Yeah.
It chose Jackie Hollis are ST. Uh, they chose, so they had done homework. She has definitely given very tough fight to the incumbent MP. It is now the candidate is ST fighting against Lingayat.
Mm.
So, if at all non-Lingayats have consolidated, especially OBCs and minorities, have
Mm.
consolidated against the incumbent, we can expect mm, India Congress to win. And I saw her campaign videos. She's hyperactive and talks sensibly. And as you said, Jackie Holy brothers, their influence cannot be ignored. They didn't talk against, though there are open fights among the brothers, they didn't talk ill of their family member contesting. So, blood is always thicker than water. So, when it comes to elections, of course, her uncle did campaign. He spoke against Jolle. He didn't
Mm.
speak, vote for Congress, but it was not very articulating send her home. Why do you want
Mm.
a new MP? This kind of debates never took, I mean, speeches I never heard. So if at all she is winning, then maybe this time the voting percentage was very high in Chikodi. It was
Yes.
6% more than last time,
Mm.
78.6. It was 3.04 percentage point more than the
Mm.
last time. Probably people are, we don't know. Let us wait for the results, whether they are
Yeah.
voting for her or against. But it offers a very interesting, study.
Hmm. Okay, Professor Chambi Puranik, I would just like to quickly ask you about Chikkodi constituency. The incumbent MP has won twice already. His wife he had been already being a minister, also an MLA. So they are also Jalla family is also equally, or I will not say equally, but comparatively significantly influential like Jarkioli family. So how do you see this? Priyanka Jarkioli has an edge over Anna Sahib according to the exit polls. So what's
Right
your
from beginning, I was thinking, or I was getting some information that she has an edge over Anna Sahib Jale. That's how, But yesterday I was surprised by seeing the exit poll survey or results that, Anna Sahib Jale is going to win and all that. So maybe, the Lingayat community factor and the consolidation of the other, whatever BJP voters, including upper caste and OBCs also, I think they must have stood by BJP party, and that's the only way he can win. And as Dr. Asha mentioned, Lingayat candidates, I think they do have that kind of solidarity, which is visible in other constituencies in the North Karnataka. So that is there. If at all there is any chance for Priyanka, it is only because of Satish Jarkiwali. He is a very powerful campaigner, and apart from that, he knows well that where to get the winning votes and all that. He has been a great strategist, and also Mahesh, you know that he is a contender for deputy chief minister's post, or if not for chief minister's post. So he has to show his whatever the kind of capacity or the influence in that area. So he has done a lot of good campaigning, and all the brothers are together. That's that point Dr. Asha mentioned, which I wanted to mention. So the uh, consolidation of or solidarity of the OBCs, especially the scheduled tribe and other groups, I think it is going to be favorable for Priyanka. But still, no, you can't say that because it's a general constituency where Lingayat has an edge over that because of BJP wave, and also the kind of campaign that North Karnataka has seen, that Lingayats versus others, not Congress. So that kind of advantage may be there for Mr. Jolle to visit. but he has no complaints. People have no complaints
Okay.
against him.
Okay. Asha, you were talking about ST community to which the fuel is belongs. So let's move on to Ballari. The survey conducted by Axis My India projects a defeat for Sriramlu and a victory for Tukaram. So your quick reactions on it.
You mean to there is
Ballari
nine?
Lok Sabha constituency, Congress candidate E. Tukaram has a edge over
Versus
the BJP
Sriram.
candidate.
It's not surprising. For me, it is not surprising. Sriramlu has been losing his ground from many years, and BJP did see BJP
Was
took it
was it
to
anything to do with the Janardhan Reddy factor?
no.
Is that the
On
reason why
on
he's
the
losing?
whole, Congress BJP has lost its grip over I mean Ballari, and
Hmm.
Congress. You go by the assembly results. People's sentiment is well expressed there. So
Hmm.
suddenly there can't be a shift within 1 year because
Hmm.
Ballari BJP has not bothered to revive the party uh, in Ballari in the last 1.5 years. It has not paid attention, whereas Congress laid a sound base after it took out Padayatra from Bangalore to Mr. Siddaramaiah led Padayatra to Ballari.
Yes.
At the time, BJP lost its grip over uh, the district as such. And
In two,
Sriramlu,
I would just
BJP,
like to I would just like to stop you there. In 2018 bypoll, Congress candidate Ugrappa had contested and won in the bypoll, and within 9 months or 1 year, Devendrappa had won in the 2019 poll. So there was a sudden change in the shift. If we take within after that, Sri Ram was defeated in the assembly elections. And BJP overall had not opened its account in 9 districts in the assembly polls. But when it comes to the exit polls, if you believe that the exit polls are going to be true, BJP are set to win at least around 18 seats. So there is, I think, voters mood, change of mood is happening. So it's definitely that the assembly elections, national elections are two different things. That's the voters are looking at it. How do you see it, Asha?
I mean, every constituency has its own dynamics. We cannot generalize,
Hmm.
Ballari lacks strong BJP leaders now. Whom they had,
Hmm.
it was all influence. See, Mr. Kondaya was the one leader who had given a sort of lift to Congress in. Uh,
Congress.
it used to be a Congress bastion. Always,
Hmm.
there are so many.
Yeah,
I can name at least half a dozen mining lots, if you call it, in Congress only
true.
because of the Reddies, all the scam happened, and then later no BJP leader has been able to give an impression that it is a clean party in Ballari. It has not
Hmm.
been able to. Sriramulu was taken to a sort of, he was elevated to the post or position which he didn't deserve when BJP was in power. It was a twining effect, Reddy and Sriramulu. Of course, Sriramulu had the reputation of being non-corrupt as a health minister. I had
Hmm.
seen his functioning in Vidhan Sauda. He was more officials dependent. His whole department was depending on certain good bureaucrats to run because he knows his limitation. And when the going was good, he was like a hero. I did a campaign trail with him in Thorangal area, and women
Mm.
is, that was the time when he was like a hero, 6 feet, broad shoulders. He was projected as a hero for that women, especially rural women. But there has been a fall because he is now not backed by neither party nor he has the blessings of Redis. In case he wins this time, it
Hmm.
is mainly due to Modi's factor. That's
Correct.
all.
Hmm.
Absolutely
Prof-
no other.
hmm. Professor Puranik, do you
Yeah,
agree with
same
Asha?
thing. She has said what I wanted to say at the end. But
Okay.
last time I did say that Tukaram has an edge over Sri Ramalu. This is in your own channel and some other channel because Tukaram himself is a very good candidate. He has, I mean, earned the goodwill of people of that area, and Congress, has a good name there also, and support base is there. Historically, Congress has always performed well in Bellary district. And this time, Congress has hopes in winning that seat also. But yesterday, when I saw that and I looked into the exit polls, I was surprised. Like the one in Chikodi, which you mentioned, it's supposed to be for Jakioli and all that. You one never know. But I think people of Karnataka, as I mentioned in the beginning, they are quite mature and
But
intelligent.
but Tukaram was also unwilling to contest the Lok Sabha elections. He
No,
wanted
but he is a
straight
good
to
candidate. Whether he's
yeah.
willing or not, that is different. But his
Uh,
image is better than Sri Ramulu. That much.
uh,
I have also, because many of my friends are there. They do mention that Tukaram is a very very decent candidate, and he is accessible also. Unlike Sri Ramulu, who is sometimes what Dr. Asha mentioned about his ministry, I have no issues. But his
okay.
accessibility also, something which people definitely. That's why his own sister, she could not win. You know the history also. So just because
Yeah.
he comes from scheduled tribe doesn't mean that he will win also. So these are all things that do matter. But in case of his victory or success, it is solely because of Prime Minister Modi's factor. That's what Dr. Asha has mentioned. I also concur with.
Yeah. So quickly move on to our next constituency, Bidar, where again Union Minister Bhagwant Kuba, BJP's union, is contesting against Congress, new entrant and son of Minister Ishwar Khandre. Sagar Khandre is the Congress candidate from Bidar, and according to Access My India survey, Sagar Khandre has an edge over Union Minister. Of course, there was a lot of infighting within the BJP also that might have given setback for the BJP. Let's see what Professor Chambi Puranik has to say about it, sir. Your reaction?
Yeah,
Union
I think
Minister losing.
Bhagwant Kuba himself is a very good minister. I have interacted with him, and a couple of times I have found him to be very, very, loyal to his own position, and he has no allegations and all that. I don't know what made him to alienate himself from the district leaders. That's the problem. He has not been friendly or happy or having good relations with the other leaders in the district, and that's one reason perhaps which has alienated him. Perhaps his own whatever shortcoming could be that the local groups are not in favor of Bhagwant Kuba, and they wanted some other candidate to be given seat. But still, he managed because he has impressed Prime Minister Modi. If Mr. Modi was not happy with him, he wouldn't have given seat also. Like Siddesh.
Two MLAs had
Siddesh was,
opposed a ticket to him.
huh? Pardon?
Two MLAs had opposed ticket to him. Two
Yeah, yeah,
BJP
that is
MLAs
there.
had.
That is there. In spite of it, he got it from Delhi. Some people it happens. From Delhi, you bring the whatever in B form and you get it that also. So therefore, I think the exits fall. They say that Khandre's son, is going to win in that constituency. But I don't think that will happen because Bhagwant Kuba, as Dr. Asha mentioned, I also sometimes having repeated that, I would say that Modi factor must have helped him to get that
Hmm.
kind of advantage. I don't think uh,
Okay.
Ishwar Khande's son will win. It is very difficult for him to win because Ishwar Khandre himself, he may be a very good minister, but I don't think his
Okay.
son is there. It again comes to dynastic politics also. So that
Hmm.
accusation is there, which Congress itself has been known for that also.
Asha, what are your views on Bidar? If
Yeah.
BJP loses this constituency, there will be another setback for BJP in Kalyan Karnataka region.
Yeah, see, Cuba has enemies within the party. That is,
Yeah.
he once boycotted BJP meeting because his candidature, when it was proposed, he didn't go well with Prabhu Chavan, who was former minister, and then a lot of MLAs opposed his, and then he was
Sharanu Salgur.
yeah. So if at all he's going to, this was reported. This incident, Vijendra said, "I leave it to the High Command." And like, but Karadi also was in the same position, Koppal, but he didn't get. Whereas uh, Bidar MP got the seat. So it is. I think, as I heard, the youngster that is Congress candidate Sagar Khandre, he had very good reception everywhere. The people, one is he's young and maybe people want, in case he wins, it could be One reason is that he looks very humble. People want
mm,
people who can, an MP who can be approached easily. Ishwar Khandre also has maintained that image. Yeah, the country factor can't be ruled. The country, even his grandfather is like he voted also. He's 100 plus. He went to polling booth and
yeah,
voted. He's the highest, I mean, senior most
mm,
politician to vote in Karnataka. So the
mm,
family has good image. Probably, it could be a tough fight, I think. But
mm,
Kuba's argument was, you people cannot decide my fate. People, Delhi will decide my ticket. So he managed to get ticket. But it is always easy if you have your team to campaign for you.
mm.
And
True.
correct.
Uh, mm. So we'll shift to another minister this time. It is Sunil Bose, who is a Congress candidate from Chamarajnagar. According to the Access My India survey, Congress candidate Sunil Bose has an edge in Chamarajnagar over BJP candidate. Professor Puranik, I would like to come to you to get your opinion. How do you see BJP has fielded, new entrant S. Balraj against another new entrant Sunil Bose? So, do you think the BJP will retain this seat or Congress has an edge over it?
Coming from that place, I have lived there for last 40, 50 years. Now recently I have shifted. I know the kind of political inner kind of combinations that are there. And Mr. Mahadevappa, being a local man, and he got the seat. Many people thought that he would not get seat, but he got the seat from for his son because of his proximity or close friendship with CM Siddaramaiah. I think he has, but the BJP candidate also is a very nice, very very good candidate. I heard good reports about him, but I came to know from the local sources which I tapped. They said that the Nirmal Bose is going to win in this election, and Chamarajnagar seat was the first one I considered as the best bet for Congress. That's why I said the other one, Yaduvir Siddaramaiah will not going to win that for Congress. So therefore, I think it is possible that the local calculations and cash combinations, and also absence of Srinivas Prasad. Srinivas Prasad did not campaign for BJP candidate, though himself was a BJP MP, and after that he died also, you know that. So the very fact that Srinivas Prasad wanted the seat for his son-in-law. So these factors must have sent different kind of messages to the voters, whether SC voters or the general category voters. They have realized that since Srinivas Prasad has not campaigned for that, and they considered that the best thing would be to support Mahadevappa's son and also help Siddaramaiah to at least have a consolation that one candidate, one seat from that district where he is supposed to be very powerful has come. In Mysore, definitely it's going to be a setback for Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. So it's a kind of balancing thing that I consider. But definitely Bose will win. That's
Mm. So we have come to last phase of our show. So we have data given by the Access My India, where it suggests that in Shumaga, BY Vijayendra has an edge, and if we speak about the two former chief ministers, uh, Basavaraj Bommai has an edge in Haveri, and Jagdish Shettar is also winning in Belagavi. So I'll just take final thoughts on Belagavi. Interestingly, it's a very interesting constituency where another son of a minister, Hepalkar, Women and Child Welfare Minister Lakshmi Hepalkar's son, Mrinal Hepalkar, is contesting against Jagdish Shettar. Asha, I would like to get your views on Belagavi Lok Sabha constituency where Jagdish Shettar is pitted against Mrinal Hepalkar. The exit poll suggests that Jagdish Shettar is set to win. So how do you see this?
Again, it will be thanks to Modi. Nothing, no credit goes to Shettar, because as long as he was in Dharwad, he was seeking all facilities for Dharwad district. When he went to Belgaum, he had no face to, I mean, ask voters why should Belgaum people vote for him. But
Mm,
the choice between Congress candidate and NDA is, NDA has more weightage there. But Lakshmi Hebalkar is a fantastic ground level worker in Belgavi. In Karnataka, if at all there is one woman who works from the ground is Lakshmi Hebalkar. So if it is Shettar per se, he may not get vote. It is basically BJP and Modi vote he will get in case he wins, as per your projections. Otherwise, he had nothing to offer, nothing to defend himself in Belgaum.
Mm.
I mean, what is his political track record?
Mm.
It is still people know how he ditched BJP and switched over to Congress and then coming back. So facing voters was tough for him this time. And he had to see, being such a senior leader, he could not even move out of his constituency to campaign for other candidates.
Mm.
See, these all tall leaders which we discuss in parties, they can't even come out of their constituencies. They confine themselves to their constituency. That shows the poll battle is severe everywhere, except probably one or two leaders. None of them could step out of their constituency. They had no influence over entire state. That is
Professor
the
Pranay, your quick thoughts
Yeah,
on this.
I did meet Mr. Jagdish Shettar in one of the seminars soon after the elections and his defeat. He was there. I was also there in that whatever political analysis that we were making. I did ask him, what made you to think? They ill-treated me because of B.L. Santosh and Joshi,
Mm.
Prahlad Joshi. That's how I was denied ticket. Otherwise, I would have won like that. He told me, and there ended the matter. I didn't want to pursue because he was a defeated former chief minister. Taking clue from that, I thought that this is the end of Mr. Jagdish Shettar's career because in Congress they have given an MLC post, that too as a kind of whatever reward, because that's very difficult to get positions in Congress, which and Madam also knows. So Jagdish Shettar, this is the only chance that was there for him to win or be relevant in Karnataka politics. That too in Andhra. The other factor, Mahesh, very important factor is BJP was very calculative to see that Prahlad Joshi gets Lingayats votes in Dharwad constituency. You know that Linganeshwara Swamiji was bent upon. Even today, he might have done damage and all that, but that will not work. So he wanted to defeat Prahlad Joshi by contesting himself. Later, because of so many other kind of influences or maneuverings that have happened in the Congress, Swamiji withdrew from the contest. So he had to be accommodated. Supposing he was not accommodated, Jagdish Shettar was not placated. Perhaps Prahlad Joshi's prospects, leave alone having margin, prospects of winning would have been difficult. So it was a kind of balancing thing that BJP has cleverly done. As Dr. Asha mentioned, he is not that popular among Lingayats also because having been chief minister, he was not in a position to give that kind of lift or image to BJP's administration. So he lost the post also. He lost the elections also. So all this like Bombay. These are all
Yeah.
people who are individually good, but when it comes to the electorate and the public, but both are
Mm.
Lingayat candidates. Which means I agree with Madam's assessment that she's a very capable person and she has a bright future in Karnataka politics. But in this election, I don't think our son will win. It is Jagdish Shettar who is going to win. It's a kind of a mutual kind of accommodative politics that has taken place between Dharwad, Prahlad Joshi's group and the supporters of BJP, and also the opponents and the dissidents who are there in BJP in Belgaum. They also rallied round to support Mr. Jagdish Shettar. And third thing is, on his own, the son of Lakshmi Jarkiwale, he is opposed by Satish Jarkiwale. Even
Yes.
Jarkiwale brothers. I don't think Jarkiwale, all brothers have supported our son's candidature. So within
Mm.
that, there are some kind of personal kind of differences or distances that are there. All of them definitely at the time of election, fair or foul, they will definitely come into operation. This is how it is happened. So therefore, it is a kind of consolation and compensation that's given to Jagdish Shettar just to accommodate Prahlad Joshi. Otherwise, they would have lost both the seats also. So this is one very
Okay.
good calculation strategy of BJP. That's how I look at it.
Yes,
Mahesh,
Asha.
Mahesh, you had to factor in Maharashtra influence also in
Yeah,
Belgaum.
Marathi.
They voted, they campaigned briskly for That was a fag end of which gave turn to Belgaum elections is that the BJP was waiting for Maharashtra leaders to come and campaign.
Hmm.
That
True.
is one big factor for Mr. Shettar. And then Belgaum, as such, is pro BJP. It used to be, and it
Hmm.
is.
Hmm.
In Lok Sabha elections, I heard many voters saying it is for Modi. We are for
Yeah.
Modi. I can show any number of videos for you. It is a blind belief in him.
Hmm.
You know, they don't. Their rationale don't work. They say that we want to vote. He is non-corrupt.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's all. So Shettar become incidental.
Hmm. Okay.
That's the problem. I mean, for BJP, it is a plus because whoever this one in
Hmm.
Delhi, they know how to manage uh,
Hmm.
MPs.
People like
They- yeah,
Uh,
that's it.
thank you very much, Asha. Thank you, Professor Chambi Puranik, sir, for joining us on our show.
Sorry for the
Uh,
technical.
no issue, sir. So the results of the Lok Sabha elections will be announced on June 4th. So what do you think about the exit poll projections? Please comment below. Stay tuned for on India Today SoSouth for more latest updates. Thank you very much for joining.